Hello YouTube, part 3 of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. I mean Stanley Parable 2, sorry. Yeah, let's just continue and see what's going on.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Figurine finders. Meeting today in the meeting room. Oh, so that means collectibles in the meeting room? Maybe?
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Wow, yes, this room. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
Wait, what? There will be a reward for finding them all. Place to search. Large room, lots of boxes, stairs, something to do with stairs. Somewhere both red and blue. A private plus smelly place for an important person. Oh. Uh-huh. The bottom text. Small floating objects, you have to search out the resource, there are many questions, yeah. Really interesting.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Oh, so that's probably there. Yeah.
Another miniature Stanley figurine. This, you know, there really must be a snappier name for these things. What about mini-stands? Stanley figs. What about Stanlerines? Yes, I think I like that. Another Stanlerine under your belt.
Okay, 3 more.
Stepping into his manager's office,
Blah blah blah.
Stanley
Yeah, I
was once again
know.
stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean? Stanley wondered aloud to nobody. He began wildly tearing through papers on the boss's desk, pulling books off the shelf, looking behind paintings, desperate for clues to his situation. But his attention was caught by a keypad.
And ironically, I forgot the password.
What could
I
it
feel bad.
just be? In fact, this keypad guarded the terrible secret that lay buried below his feet. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
So there's like one in the blue-red door. But then the 2 others, I don't know.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Can I just escape this? Okay, yes. It keeps the sequel
The
statue.
meeting room. Yes, that's where everyone would be. Stanley just needed to get to the meeting room, and from then on, he would never be alone ever again. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
So, somewhere both red and blue, stairs, something to do with stairs, and a large room. I don't get the large room. And something with stairs.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Oh,
Okay, I'm going back to the name of these little Stanley figurines, and now I'm torn between Stanlerines and Figlies. What do you think, Stanley? What name better encapsulates the intrinsic sense of happiness that you get from seeing a small number in the corner of your screen go up by 1? Let me sit on it. I'm sure it will come to me.
okay, and of course there's this ending.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had
think
left
it's
his
the
post
same
during
ending.
work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk?
I
All
just leave it
he
because
believed
maybe
everyone had vanished.
for those who
His
don't know
boss
the
would think he
original.
was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley.
Wait,
Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all. None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other
oh,
strange
I think they made it longer.
For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter,
They
these
made it a
rules were
bit
starting
longer.
to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground.
Yes.
Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life
Especially my job.
exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal.
I am normal.
Everything will be fine.
And
I am okay.
no.
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
F.
This is the story of a woman named Mariella. Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy, this much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day, the very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
Yeah, it's basically the same ending, but they just modified it a little bit. Wait. Where are the balloons? Oh, there's the bucket.
Stanley lifted the bucket into his
Yeah.
arms, and a wave of comfort rushed over him. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Yeah. Blue and red
This
door.
was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No,
Said the bucket.
Nah.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift. Good,
said the bucket.
now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
Okay, so I should pay attention to
No,
the...
stop. Look there on the wall. You see, there's a sign right there. It says, no buckets past this point.
Oh,
Stanley,
yeah.
How could you think it was okay to bring the bucket here? Unless, what if the problem is that you actually don't know what is a bucket and what isn't a bucket? I suppose that would explain a lot about your behavior up to this point. Which, if that's true, well, my goodness, I think we have to do something about it. This misunderstanding could have dire consequences on the entire rest of the game if not addressed quickly and properly. So much of the impact of the story is dependent on your understanding of what is and isn't a bucket. Please, step in here for a moment.
What the fuck? Oh my, no, no. I know what is a bucket. God damn it.
Now then, I'm going to run you through some test scenarios, and you'll tell me whether or not the thing I'm showing you is a bucket. Simple enough, right? This should tell us everything we'll ever need to know about what is or is not a bucket. Okay, let's begin. Item 1. Is this a bucket?
Yes.
Incorrect. It is a hologram of a bucket, not an actual bucket.
Cunt.
Item 2. Is this a bucket? Incorrect. It is a 3D printed recreation of a bucket, not an actual bucket. Item 3. Is this a bucket?
I'm sure it is, but I'm gonna say no. Yep.
This is a bucket.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's fair.
Item 4. Is this a bucket?
No, it's a fucking tractor, man.
Correct. This is a tractor and not a bucket. To be honest, I just sort of put this one in here as a gimme, but I was starting to get concerned that even this might be too much for you. Thank you for not making me look like an idiot. Okay, next one. Is this a bucket? Incorrect. This is a bucket.
No. No, it's not.
Item 6. Is this a bucket?
This is a bucket.
Trick question. Both. Gotcha.
Both. Yep, both. Yep.
Item... Wait, hold on. I can't find the next one. Let me see. It should be around here somewhere.
Oh God.
Yes. Thank you. There's nothing here. Of course it isn't a bucket. We both know full well that nothing isn't a bucket. Wait, when I say nothing isn't a bucket, that makes it sound like I'm saying everything is a bucket, which of course is not true. Unless... Is that what you think? Answer me straight, Stanley. Are you trying to tell me that you believe everything is a bucket? You know what? I'm too confused to even sort it out. I've lost all sense of perspective. What is a bucket? What isn't a bucket? Mere moments ago I could answer these questions with confidence. And yet now I'm somewhat adrift. Do any of us know what a bucket is? Am I a bucket? Stanley, I can't keep doing this. I'm losing myself, and myself was all I ever had to begin with. I'm afraid the bucket is threatening to tear our relationship apart. I can't have that. I'm sorry. But I'm going to erase all buckets from the game.
No.
Okay, here we go.
No.
What happened? Is everything gone?
Oh yeah, because everything is a
So
bucket.
here, wait, was everything a bucket? Every single thing in the game was a bucket. Oh my God, I had no idea. How could... Except me. I'm not a bucket after all. And you, Stanley, you're still here. You're not a bucket either. Oh, this is wonderful news. We're not buckets. Yes, I actually feel
So
much
that
more
means
at ease.
all objects are
It's still
buckets,
like
but
we get
not
some
like
clarity
humans or
information, but it
narrators.
doesn't change the fact that we haven't got a game. So, tell you what, I'll reset everything and we'll put back all of the buckets, okay?
Yeah.
And we'll know that it's all a bucket. But
Yeah,
if you run into
everything's a
anyone
bucket.
else, maybe don't mention that. Who knows what that information might do to a person? All right, here we go.
Good lord. That's some shocking news right now.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Yeah, so this time I won't take the bucket. Yeah, but if... Yeah, but the thing is, everything is a bucket, but... If it says like I
When
shouldn't
Stanley
carry a
came to set
bucket.
of 2 open doors, he entered. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly
Wait.
well.
So
Perhaps
no
he
no no
wanted
no
to
no.
stop by the employee lounge first.
If I
just to
like
admire
I
it.
can't pass the door now because I'm
Stanley loved his
holding
incredible
nothing,
room.
and
Stanley, for the first
it was
time he
proved
dared
that
to get back to
nothing
business,
isn't a
Stanley
bucket.
took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
So I should be fine now.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not
Oh
sure.
wait, there's a
we really
platform.
are.
Oh!
I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has
So
been
it's
about
there.
nothing but you
So I
all
should
this
find a way to
time.
go there.
There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm
Hey.
on your side. Give me a chance. You're getting close now, Stanley.
One
You've
more.
nearly gotten all of the figurines. Very soon, you'll collect the last one, and then the first number will equal the second number, and that will be it. We'll be different people by then. Different in the sense that we used to have none of them, and now we have them all. You can't go back to when you had no figurines. None of us can.
Okay,
Now
so
listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
right. Let's go to the red door, whatever.
Oh, thank God you are willing to listen to me. Do you see that I really have wanted you to be happy all this time? The problem is all these choices. The two of us always trying to get somewhere that isn't here. Running and running and running, just the way you're doing right now.
Yeah.
Don't you see that it's killing us, Stanley? I wanted to stop. We would both be so much happier if we just stopped. And I think I have a solution. Here, let me show you. What do we want? What are we looking for?
Ah, yes.
Here. Yes.
Ah,
it's
I forgot this room.
If we just stay
It's
right
beautiful.
here, right in this moment with this place, Stanley, I think I feel happy. I actually feel happy.
Yep, but I don't want to be happy.
No, wait. Where are you going?
This was already in the original, by the way.
Stay away from those stairs. If you hurt yourself, if you die, the game will reset. We'll lose all of this.
I'm gonna kill myself.
No, Stanley, let me stay here. Don't take this from me. Please, Stanley, think about what you're doing.
Alright, goodbye guys, but nice to see you.
No! Oh, thank God. No, what are you doing, Stanley? Please, I'm asking you not to take this away from me. I can't go back to what I was before. If you die, we'll both go back. Why are you doing this?
Because I still need the achievement. I still have a figurine.
Stanley, let's go back to the other room. Can you do that for me? My God, is this really how much you dislike my game? That you'll throw yourself from this platform over and over to be rid of it? You are literally willing to kill yourself to keep me from being happy. Am I reading the situation correctly? Or maybe you're just getting a kick out of it. I don't know anymore. I just wanted us to get along. But I guess that was too much to ask. It looks like you wanted to make a choice after all. Well, this one is yours.
Goodbye, cruel world.
Is it over? It's going to restart, isn't it? I'm going back.
Alright, so I think that's like one more.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
But the thing is, how do you go there? Like, how do you go?
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Stanley felt lightheaded, butterflies in his stomach. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
I know for a fact that it's not this way. Let's see.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Or maybe you can just... Oh, I see. Okay. Don't fall down. Come on. Hey!
And there it is, the last Stiggly Wiggly. Savor this moment, Stanley. This is a real accomplishment. This is doing something just for the sake of doing it. Where so many people expect to be rewarded for the most trivial achievements, you've insisted that a job well done is its own reward. I would tell you that I'm proud of you for collecting them all, but that would be like a reward, and we can't have that. So, instead I'll just say, it's done. We're all done here. And now we can go to whatever the hell you were doing before you hunted for figurines.
Yeah, and oh, wait. Yeah, I can't go back. There's a door here. Oh, no. Oh. Among Us.
Stanley had now gotten himself so far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun from so far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun from so far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun from so far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun from so far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun from so far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun from so far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun from so far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun from so far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun from so far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun from so far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun from so far off the beaten.
Narrator sound system.
You didn't
Oh.
think I was actually just a recording, did you? What a silly and trite explanation that would be. All the back and forth between you and me, all the absurd adventures we've been through, and it all turns out I'm just a tape recording? It was all just in Stanley's head. I bet that's the kind of twist you think is revelatory. I bet each and every time you watch a movie where it turns out all to be in the main character's imagination, you must absolutely bolt off the couch in pure shock at the phenomenal and intricate storytelling. It must be so simple to be you. Life being an unending waterfall of surprises and delights. How much more exciting you must find the world than the rest of us do. Now I've become sad. Look what you've done to me. This is all your fault.
Sure, man. He's not talking anymore. Wait. Oh, that's... that's like subliminal.
Stanley, I'm sorry, but I have to put a pause on things. It's those figurines, those figglers.
Yeah.
I haven't stopped thinking about them since you nabbed every last one. Wasn't it just the most intrinsically fulfilling moment of your entire life?
Yeah.
Didn't it fill you to the brim with inner richness? Yes, I know we're supposed to be telling a story, but won't you please indulge me with one more trip back to the memory zone? I would love nothing more than to revisit the figurines. Just one more time.
Sure, man. No problem. I'm down. When Stanley found the collectibles. Fuck's sake. The memory zone.
Here's where it all began.
True.
The first collectible.
The
Back
very
then, we
first.
had no idea of how many of them we'd find. Sure, it said 6 right there on the screen, but how could we know for certain? We were so innocent. We'll never be like that again, Stanley.
Wait, what if I take this one? 7 out of 6, nice. We broke it. Yeah, this is the second one.
And here was the second Stanley. You found this one all on your own just by poking around behind the boss's office. You did that, Stanley. I'll be honest, back then I had no faith in you to find any of them, let alone 6. But you continue to surprise me in all sorts of mundane, unremarkable ways. Okay, let's do a little quiz. Which of these rooms was the room you found your third mini Stan? Can you remember?
My third. So there was one like in the like in the sequel. Wait, fuck. I don't even remember. Oh yeah, there was so the chimney, yeah, and then like I'm shared between this one and this one, but I think I did this one first. Ah, fuck. Yeah, I think it's this one.
Hey, that's exactly right. It was here in the boss's bathroom. It was the third one. You picked it up, and then after that, you had 3 of them. I'm glad these moments are so crystal clear in your memory, but I shouldn't be surprised. After all, science tells us that it's impossible to forget your third time doing anything. Let's see, what came next? Oh yes, we found a Figley in this pink room.
No!
Oh, well, I can't actually say I remember being in this room, but it's here in the memory zone, so it must have happened.
No! What the fuck? That never happened. Whatever.
This was the 5th mini Stan, and
Yeah.
this one was really something special. It was by the red and blue doors. I remember it so clearly. In fact, because this one is particularly special to me, I made a little video to commemorate the occasion.
Really?
Enjoy.
The fucking movie maker, like, oh my god. The good old days of content creation. Oh my god.
Takes you back, doesn't it?
Yeah,
I
true.
spent a lot of time making that video.
Yeah, a lot of
Minutes
time.
I wouldn't have spent on anything else.
8 minutes. And then the last one was in the big room. Yeah, exactly this one.
And then, Stanley, then we came to the last collectible, the final figurine, right here in the warehouse. This memory is the most distinct and clear in my mind, perhaps because it was the one that happened more recently than all the others. Who can truly say how the mind works? All I know is that this is the moment where you picked up a Figly and I thought to myself, yes, that's all of them. They're all collected. It was a moment unlike any other. Except for the other moments picking up figurines, which it was exactly like. And then there was no more, because we've caught up to the present moment. Nothing left to do but move onward
past.
into the future. Goodbye, memory zone. No, I'm not done. I'm not ready to move on. Stop the loading screen. Isn't there some way we can stay here, keep enjoying these figurines? Let's just go backwards. We'll do the memory zone again from the opposite direction. See how that feels.
Ah, really?
Okay, yes. This spot in the warehouse.
Yeah.
I remember this. I must say, of all
Yeah,
the
13,
figurines
yeah.
we looked at in our initial tour of the memory zone, this one is the most distinct and clear in my mind. Let's keep going. I want more.
Let's print run that shit. Oh no, don't bring back the video again.
Here's where I made that video. Don't you remember the
Yeah,
video?
you remember, yeah. No!
Yes, I love that video.
Oh, yep.
Still don't remember the pink room, Stanley. Still no memory of this one. Good room, though. A solid room.
Yeah, but it doesn't exist. And then the
These really
bathroom.
were a treat to hunt down. You know, if there had been any kind of reward for finding all of these, it really would have neutered the intrinsic joy of collecting them. I'm very glad we resisted the temptation. Next one.
What happens if I go there? Oh yeah, that's just simply nothing. Okay.
This was our second Figly. Don't you remember? Yes, I remember it too. The past is truly a wonderful thing. Why does anyone ever choose to leave it? Keep going. This is it, the very first one we found in the exhibit where I introduced you to the figurines. Oh, I want more memories, Stanley. I want to keep going. What
I
else
do
is there?
not.
What came before this?
Wait, am I just back here? Okay.
Look, it's the terrible new content that we were originally sold on. I remember hating it back then, but time does put a rosy filter on everything. In fact, I dare say I'm actually quite fond of it now. Look how much fun the past is. I want more. More memories.
That's actually accurate. Like, not even joking. Like sometimes, like imagine you played the game like 10 years ago, and you're just pissed off by the game for like terrible features and everything. And then 10 years later, remember that game you don't play anymore because it was closed by fucking Electronic Arts, and you're like, you know what? This game was actually good, despite all of it, all of the flaws it had. I'm talking about Need for Speed World, of course. But yeah, this is actually true.
Oh, yes, the two doors. Who could have forgotten that? A classic memory, this one.
And then number 427. Okay.
And before everything else, there was your office.
Yeah.
Is there anything else?
Was there something that came before your office?
No.
There's something I feel I can remember. I can remember.
I mean, by the game.
Yes, I'm remembering something now.
Hmm?
I remember before this whole story got started. Back then I was different. I used to make big decisions. I was passionate.
Wait.
I was skeptical. I weighed each decision with profound thoughtfulness. And then somewhere along the way, I stopped making decisions. I became lazy. And I came up with a character named Stanley to do my thinking for me. He would make the decisions. He would decide which way to go. I would cheer him on as he collected figurines for no reason. Why did I invent Stanley? Was I lonely? Yes, perhaps that's it. Perhaps I needed to imagine I had companionship. And Stanley really did make for a wonderful companion, even if he was a fiction. But I suppose it's grown old. I want to think for myself again. I want to go back to how it used to be. Yes, I can be on my own again. I can do it. I'll be stronger this time. I'll take care of myself. I don't need Stanley anymore.
No!
Oh, but he truly was so much fun to play with. You know what? Since we're in the memory zone, how about one more good memory? Let's go back just once and give Stanley one more run of the office, and then I'll retire him for good.
What do you mean?
The story so very much. Okay, here we go. This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Okay. I think that was the ending.
All of his co-workers were... Wait, no. This isn't the right office, is it? Is this Stanley's office?
Okay, so the bucket. I still want to find the infinite, I mean, mostly
when Stanley
infinite,
came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
mostly infinite,
This was not the correct way to the meeting room,
hall.
and Stanley knew it perfectly well.
because it should be
Perhaps he wanted
somewhere.
to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. The lounge was grand, majestic, perhaps too... But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
I guess the meeting room is back to normal now. Just checking.
Yet there was not a
Yeah.
single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
I think there's nothing new here. I might be wrong, but... Oh! Was it in the original? Wait. I don't remember this. No, I think it was. I think it was. I think it was. Yeah, it just goes back here, yeah.
The moment he entered his manager's office, Stanley froze in his tracks.
2845.
Not a living soul anywhere. Could he really be all alone? This was too much for Stanley to take. Too much for any man to... Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music.
Come on! Come on!
Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
Maybe there's something new in the escape room. I need to test that out. Wait, can I go up?
Whoops. Nope. Never mind.
Oh.
Stanley actually got back into the elevator and went back up. Silly me. Why did Stanley do that when he knew that it would just lead back to his boss's office? Well, that's a great question. I just can't wait to find out.
I think that wasn't in the original. Wait. I think you couldn't go back.
Here we are, Stanley. It's your boss's office. Exactly the way it was before you got onto the elevator. It's still just exactly what it is. What a decision you've made to come up here and look at the office again. This has fleshed out the plot of the story in new and fascinating ways I could have never anticipated. It's that keen eye for storytelling that you have, an incisive rapid fire of critical plot points, one after the other, weaving a rich tapestry of uncompromising narrative. Wow! I'm bolted to the edge of my seat.
Okay. Okay, can't go back. Wait, what? Okay, maybe now I can go down again. Yeah, okay.
Incredible. Now he's getting back into the elevator and going down again. Ladies and gentlemen, how does he keep coming up with all of this? Surely this time Stanley will walk forward into the spooky corridor, won't he?
No. I'll keep going, mate. I like elevators.
Did you think we were going to go forward down the spooky corridor? No. It's time once again to go back up in the elevator. I can't even begin to grapple with what might be up there. Is it the boss's office again? Or what if it's the boss's office this time? The suspense is killing me.
I feel like at some time the elevator we broke you down or something. I don't know. Or maybe something completely unexpected.
Oh my god. It's the boss's office.
Wow!
This absolutely changes everything for me. Give me a time out here for a minute while I process this.
Don't tell me it actually lasts a minute. Like, don't.
Okay, I'm ready. I'm prepared to embrace this stunning revelation and to move forward with... No! No, wait! No! I need more time to process.
Okay, never mind, it does. That's actually a cool BRB
All
screen.
right. I have fully come to
Right.
terms with it. I have made space in my worldview
Are you
for
sure?
this astonishing new reality. As before, I turn to your expert eye for gripping narrative, Master Stanley.
Are you sure you're okay? If so, we will continue. Because I'm not ready to stop.
Of course. Going back down in the elevator. How did I not anticipate it? I mean, sure, now it's obvious, but you have to understand that 30 seconds ago, this kind of thing had never been attempted before. I had no frame of reference to even anticipate it. That's just how
I feel like it goes slower.
Stanley's decision-making is. A breath of fresh air in a landscape of storytelling that has grown stale and repetitive.
Or maybe just for the narration, yeah, I think. See nothing new, yeah. Why? Yeah. Alright, let's go up. I'm not done.
You know what?
Yeah?
I've just thought of something. Hold on, let's stop for a moment. Don't you realize? It's the anticipation, Stanley. You and I, we have no way of knowing what will be at the top of this elevator. But the suspense, the
Yeah.
agony of waiting and anticipating and having to guess, that's the real thrill. Oh, I simply don't want to let that feeling go. It's so precious, so fleeting. Why don't we take this elevator ride nice and slow? There we
Whatever,
go.
man. Whatever.
Isn't this so much more exciting? You know, Stanley, it seems like nowadays the only thing that audiences want is to be shocked as loudly and frequently as possible.
True.
They want big, explosive moments flung right in their faces from the very moment that things get started. But where's the tension? Where's the trust in the audience to build a slow and nuanced appreciation for the story, the characters? Why aren't we given time to imagine the surprises, to have to think and to anticipate and then to marvel at the eventual reveal? This is storytelling, Stanley. What you and I are doing right now. This is the most exciting narrative to be developed in years, and it's really all because of you. You're the one who took this bold step of revisiting the exact same locations over and over. Truly, I mean it. This is unique and different. It's not like anything else out there. You see, I want stories that surprise me, Stanley. I want to have to think. I want to be engaged and not pandered to. We're being fed such unimaginative drivel all the time, and we all know it, which is why we're so starved for content that makes us feel sharp and vital and alive. That's why people like you so much, Stanley, because you're not afraid to spit in the face of tradition. You're a role model, you know? People look up to you. Which is why, oh, I didn't know when to spring this on you, but, well, I've gathered a little press conference for you, so that you
Really?
can talk about your work and your storytelling and your life. Yes, I know you're not much for the public eye, but I thought it would especially mean a lot to the people who have been following you from the beginning. They really look up to you, Stanley. I don't know if you realize the impact you have on them. This is the kind of gesture that might leave a tremendous impact on them for the better. Oh, good, we're here.
What the hell?
Okay, the room where we're holding the press conference should be just around the corner here.
Okay, I can't go back to the elevator now. Oh, we did the pyramids. Okay. Okay. Stanley live on stage. Oh my god, the pressure. The pressure, man.
Ah, yes, here it is, just through this door.
Are you sure this is the right door, man?
All right, are you ready? I've told them you're going to speak a little bit about the nature of surprise in storytelling and what it means to craft a truly unpredictable narrative. Oh, don't worry, you'll do great. Just be yourself and speak from the heart. I'm really proud of you, Stanley. Okay, it looks like they're ready for you. Go get them.
What the fuck? Well, that's a lot of people. Wait, what? Is that it? Okay. Sure, man.
A soft wind blew outside and perhaps rain started, and if it did, it stopped shortly after. Stanley hoped that he would one day see weather.
Okay, there we go. I can see the weather just by doing this.
At first, Stanley assumed he'd broken the map, until he heard this narration and realized it was part of the game's design all along. He then praised the game for its insightful and witty commentary into the nature of video game structure and its examination of structural narrative tropes. So, now that you're here, what do you think? Isn't this a fun and unique place to be? Why don't we take a minute just to...
Okay, that's the same. Oh yeah. This fucking ending. Buttons everywhere. Can I just press them all? Does it do something? Ah yes, the heaven. Pressing buttons forever. Okay. That ending already exists, by the way.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Okay. Man, I want the new content. Where's my infinite all?
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. And here it was, the lounge. What a room, Stanley thought to himself. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track. But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he needed to go, from here, it's, left. Oh, no, it's to the right, my mistake.
Yeah, this is also already known.
No, not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking?
I think this is where I
It's
completely
clearly-
broke the game.
Oh dear, would you hold on for a minute, please?
Like it just resets every time.
Now, let's see. We went down right,
But
left,
maybe there's
down,
something new.
Left, right. Yep, okay, yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
And then it leads there. Yeah, I remember.
No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay. We just have to get back to, oh, who am I kidding? It's all rubbish.
Oh,
now.
there's a
The whole
cliffy there. I
story
never
is
noticed.
unusable. How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, hmm? Okay, from the top. All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Yeah, there's no door. Oh, no, yeah, okay.
When Stanley... Wait.
Yeah, there's a lot
wait,
of doors,
what?
yeah, I remember.
No, I restarted. I swear, I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh. Everything should be... Oh, did something change? Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors?
Nothing.
Did you move the story somewhere or... Hold on. Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story. It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere. Okay, then. It's an adventure. Come, Stanley. Let's find the story.
Come on, guys, let's find the story. Who knows what you did? They're just holding back to let you torture yourself.
I'll say it. This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you there definitely was a story here before. Do we need to restart the game again? Well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not?
Okay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I think this is where there are no doors, yeah.
Okay, yep, it's worse. I might be remembering this wrong. It's possible the story is back where we just came from. Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything? Aha! I knew we'd missed something. The story. Here it comes.
The story.
No, wait, never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps. Now this... Well, I'll be honest, I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story? I don't think so. I can't quite recall, but I believe my story
Okay, I
took place
remember
in an
this,
office
yeah.
building. Is that correct? Do you remember, Stanley?
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing,
You won.
How about this? You win! Congratulations! I know you put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off. So, good job. Oh, no. No, I don't feel right about this at all. We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win. Some people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations. Okay? I'm getting weirded out
spit
by
me
whatever
fair
this
and
place is.
square.
I don't care what might happen this time. I have to restart. All right, I've got a solution. This time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the
Stanley Parable 2 Adventure Line.
Just follow the line. How simple is that?
Yeah, let's follow the line. Or not.
No, I'm down. We're leaving it up to the line from now on.
Okay. Yes. I approve.
You see? The line knows where the story is. It's over in this direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny. Though, here's a thought. Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there? Or to put it another way, is the story of no destination still a story? Simply by the act of moving forward, are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of life itself? Okay, Stanley, I need to follow this train of thought for a minute. Just stick with me. Now, we can both agree that the nature of existence is in fact a byproduct of one's
This is where
subjective experience
like
of
it
that
goes
existence,
nuts.
right? Okay. Now, if my experience of your existence rests inside of your subjective experience of this office, is this office, in fact, the skeleton of my own relative experiential mental subjective construct? Whoa. Hang on. That got a bit weird back there. Well, I'd like to apologize. Not sure where I was going with all that. You know what? I think what we need right now is a bit
Oh
of
yeah, the music.
to lighten the
Let's
mood.
go.
Wait, cut the music. Go back and look at that fern. Stanley, this fern will be very important later in the story.
Sure.
Make sure you study it closely and remember it carefully. You won't want to miss anything. Wait, what? We're back at the office? No. Line,
No.
you do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The story? Is any of this ringing a bell? Oh, no, not again. Line, how could you have done this to us? And after we trusted you, after everything we've been through, you... Oh, I can't take this anymore. To hell with it. Restart.
Restart. Wait, where's the 2? We are not in the sequel anymore.
You know what, Stanley? I say forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us? We're intelligent people, right? Why can't we make up our own story? Something exciting, daring, mysterious. Ooh, this all sounds perfectly doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in, well, I don't know. How about this direction? Now, yes, this is exciting. Just me and Stanley forging a new path, a new story. Well, it could be anything. What do you want our story to be? Go wild. Use your imagination. Whatever it might be, Stanley, I'm ready for it.
I think we'll see the line at some point.
No,
Yeah, there
not
we
you
go.
again. Stanley, I'd also like to veto the line from having any role in our awesome new story. No lines or monitor rooms. Just don't acknowledge it, and we should be fine. Ah, a choice. We get to make a decision. From here, the story is in our control. How important we mustn't squander the opportunity. In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here. Just walk in circles for a minute. Okay, so I know that each door has to lead somewhere, which means that somewhere, the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse door that leads here. And that in turn means that our destination corresponds with the counter-inverted reverse door's origin. So starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going? And since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one. Another victory for logic. Come, Stanley, our destiny awaits. Oh,
Okay,
what's
yeah.
this? The
This
confusion
doesn't
ending.
change.
You're
Apparently.
telling me that's what this is? It's all one giant ending? And we're supposed to restart the game, what, 8 times? That's really how all this goes? It's all determined? So now, according to the schedule, I restart again. Then what? Am I just supposed to forget? Well, what if I don't want to forget? My mind goes blank simply because it's written here on this thing, wall. Well, who consulted me? Why don't I get to decide? Why don't I get a say in all of this? Is it really? No, it can't be. I don't want it to be. I don't want the game to keep restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on. I don't want to be trapped like this. I won't restart the game. I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't do it. And the timer stopped? Does that mean, did we do it? Did we break the cycle? The, whatever it is that made this schedule? How would we even know? Will someone come for us? Will something happen? So, okay. I guess now we just wait, you know. I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story, wouldn't you agree? I'm not quite sure if we're in the destination or the journey, though they're always saying
Protect
that
your
life is
ears,
about
by the way.
journey and not the destination. So I hope that's where we are right now. We'll find out, won't we? Eventually. Well, in the meantime, if you...
Told you. Hi. Goodbye, YouTube.